Well, we're back in Thailand to check on the boat and sort out a few things. You can see here it's really starting to take shape. They're doing final patching and for sanding and fairing, getting ready to paint. The rear cockpit furniture is starting to get built. They've got the dummy rear cockpit posts, support posts there. The lockers for the dinghy fuel and storage is formed up. The rear barbecue cabinet with the electric sliding windows all formed up. Here's a picture of the front window and underneath the hull and the foredeck. You can see the helm, the starboard cockpit and the forward cockpit. Up here in the flybridge they're forming up all the stairwell and the daybed and corner lounges and the chart table. That's the chart table going over the top of the stairs there. An outside shot of the boat. You know, it's hard to tell the actual size of it, but it's pretty big, and it's got some beautiful lines on it. You can see why it's going to be a long-range blue water cruiser. It's got big bridge clearance there, magnificent lines and finish on the boat that James has been able to achieve. We'll walk back up the stairs here now and have a bit of a video. This is the engine bay we're coming to there. A bit of a shot down in the engine bay. It's about 3 meters deep down in there, so you've got to have some sort of ladder to get down. The back of that cabinet there, we've got a fish cleaning table that's going to go on and tall rod lockers on either side. There's one of the hatches cut in, that'll have the dinghy fuel in it. It'll be a sealed down locker. Lockers under the lounge for more storage. Great big glassed in doors that slide right back. You can see here the ceiling starting to take shape. And then as we walk in through the big sliding door, a beautiful set of stairs going up to the huge flybridge. It's massive up there, as is this room in the saloon. Anyway, back round the back of the boat, you can see the flybridge floor there. These are the moulds for hull number 3, 58. Really starting to take shape. They got them polishing them up and putting them all together. It's quite a process. I mean, look at this structure just for the mould. Takes up some room, and you can see here how many steps along. It's a huge big mould set up. Walking out the front of one of the factories, long reach you've got, and you know, this is where you can really see it starting to take shape. Our gear have arrived from Australia over in Thailand by a shipping container, so we rented this factory and started to unload it. It took about 6 months to organise the removal from Australia to Thailand. It was quite a tricky process. If anyone wants a hand with it, I've now learnt a lot. But we were so happy when we saw the container arrive and it got through all the officials without any worries. And it did cost a lot of money, but it all got there very safely. It came with 4 or 5 guys to help unload it. We had a forklift on standby there and nothing was damaged at all. So it was one great big relief for us. once we left Thailand, we made our way to Istanbul in Turkey. I know, amazing, but we've got some lovely friends, Julia and Julian, that invited us to come onto their Halbrassi yacht for a few weeks to sail. And I've just taken a few snapshots here. So if you want to sit back and have a look, this is Marmarus and the marina where the boat was, where we met them. And we jumped on board and went for a bit of a sail around. It was beautiful. We're going to go for a swim ashore and a walk up there with the goats. Right, let's go. Hey? Come on, gorgeous.
Well, what's happening, Sonny? Got my song, so I can walk up on the...
Sonny's in the salt water,
Yeah,
so we'll be washing him out later.
Yeah.
Here he comes. Out of the water. Hold it high, Julia. I think this is a goat farmer's house, or a low-key Airbnb.
شدم غرق خیالت باز دوباره وی بجا صبر و تحمل نیست و چاره بجا صبر و تحمل نیست و چاره ها بدیدم چهره‌ات را در خیالم وی رو خدمه بود و چشمانت ستاره خد ماه بود و چشمانت ستاره
We had some days out on the water and they were absolutely beautiful. The water temperature was glorious. I think it was about 25, 26 degrees. The mountains, and the full moon we had this night, and the absolute most beautiful anchorage we've ever been in. It was just fabulous, and we made our way back to Marmarus, and I couldn't help but take a few more photos.
نهادم سر به بالش در شبی تار و تو را در خواب
with our friends, we decided to hire a car and make our way to Ephesus and then to Gallipoli, and it was really, really good. Driving along the road and looking out the windows for as far as the eye could see, both sides of the roads, there's just olive trees planted. It doesn't look like they're in a plantation form at all, but they are just olive trees, olive trees, olive trees. And they're all picked by hand, and that, you know, we must have went 200 kilometres, and all that trees you can see out there are olive trees. As you get down into the valleys a bit more, well, obviously the soil's a bit more fertile. These are peaches, nectarines, apples, oranges, pomegranates. Oh, so much fruit and veggies. Like it?
Love it! It's a real taste of turkey. It's so beautiful. Grapefruit, olives, limes, tomatoes, roses, lemons.
Castle in the background. Pomegranates. The ruins of the Byzantine aqueduct run through Salak. The original route conveyed drinking water from a source east of Pranga between Bolivia to the north and Salak. The aqueduct piers are 15 metres high. The bases are clad with marble blocks reused from Ephesus. Brick arches on the top support the water channel. From March through to September there are large stork nests on the piers, with the birds standing guard on top. Unfortunately, just a few days before we arrived at Salak, all the storks had flown the nest.
Ephesus was a city in ancient Greece on the coast of Ionia, 3 kilometers southwest of present-day Selçuk in Izmir province in Turkey. It was built in the 10th century BC on the former Aswan capital by Attic and Ionian Greek colonists. During the classical Greek era, it was one of the 12 cities that were members of the Ionian League. The city came under the control of the Roman Republic in 129 BC.
After covering the Greek Dark Ages and the late Middle Ages, the city was abandoned in the 15th century. In 1863 to 1895, there was large excavation work done by archaeologists John Turtle Wood and Otto Bendorf. In 2015 it became a UNESCO World Heritage Site and covers an area of 662.62 hectares. The city was famous in its day for the nearby Temple of Artemis, completed around 550 BC, which has been designated one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Its many monumental buildings included the Library of Celsius and the theatre, capable of holding 24,000 spectators. The monumental basilica was built in the 4th century in the burial place of St. John the Divine. It was designated in the shape of a cross and was covered with 6 domes.
Morning.
Why did the Anzacs go to Gallipoli? The aim of this deployment was to assist a British naval operation which aimed to force the Dardanelles Strait and capture the Turkish capital, which was then Constantinople. The Australians landed at what became known as Anzac Cove on the 25th of April 1915, and they established a tenuous foothold on the steep slopes of the beach. They were ordered to begin digging trenches. The Anzac held on for the crucial first night. Of the 16,000 men who landed during the first day, more than 2,000 had been killed or injured by the next morning. By the time the campaign had ended, more than 130,000 men had died, at least 87,000 Ottoman soldiers and 44,000 Allied soldiers, including more than 8,700 Australians. The Lone Pine attack launched by the 1st Brigade AIF in late afternoon of the 6th of August 2015 pitched Australian forces against formidable entrenched Turkish positions, sections of which were securely roofed over with pine logs. In some instances, the attackers had to break through the roof of the trench system in order to engage the defenders. The main Turkish trench was taken within 20 minutes of the initial charge, but this was the prelude to 4 days of intense hand-to-hand fighting, resulting in over 2,000 Australian casualties.